I do believe we are live. So I'll say the and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me once again. Another day. Another day within everything, right? That is what we're going to talk about today. The fact that everything, and it's kind of inspired by Joy Vive's comment of yesterday, everything is everything. Everything is everything. This is true, right? This is very true. But on top of everything being everything, everything needs to be for everything to be, right? Including the bad, including the stuff that we don't want to see, including the stuff that makes us feel less than loving. I spent some time again today brain damaging myself, exposing myself to the difficulties that other people are going through in the world, the economy, right? Collapsing, banks losing their shit, people not having access to their money, people not having access to food to buy, corruption by governmental entities raiding the coffers of the people year after year after year after year. And it kind of wrecks me. It makes me feel this deep sense of almost guilt for not suffering as much, right? Like I'm like, oh, look at how much other people are suffering. I don't suffer nearly as much. Am I a bad person for not suffering as much? Number 74 in life. Triple four, as I check the timestamp as well right now. It's just telling me 20. Yeah, 74 in life. Nice. Nice. Right? And the only, and I've shared this perspective with you friends so many times before, the only conclusion that I've come to not drive myself absolutely insane is to be grateful, all right? To instead of feeling guilty for being in one state of existence or another, I'm gonna try and be grateful, right? Because everything needs to be for everything to be, right? Including me, including you. That your experience, as it is right now, no matter how you choose to experience it, is going to contribute to the infinite, right? To the everything. So make your experience one of gratitude, right? Even if you're not suffering as much as others, don't suffer for not suffering, right? You know, at least that's the way I think of it. That it's high time for us to actually start embracing a different way of being. I don't I don't see how the corruption that has been going on, because this is the way I think of it, right? Corruption as it is, or at least as it has been for the longest time, is something that happened behind closed doors, right? Something that the people who would be corrupt were kind of out of the public eye, right? They were the upper echelons of society. They were the ones that could benefit from all of this manipulation in a way that nobody knew they were benefiting from it. And now, with the internet age, love you, for the first time, we have access to pretty much everything, right? More and more so as we're heading into the future of crypto, our currency is going to be accounted for as well. You know, you can't steal something if we know where it goes. And technically, it should already be that way, right? Like all of our politicians, for example, all of these people that have been benefiting from taking advantage of society, these people now suddenly have millions of dollars in their bank accounts, right? And I don't see humanity being okay with that indefinitely, right? And like the thing for me is oh, sorry, Kitty. The thing for me is I hope they realize that without it needing to be pandemonium. Oh, Kitty is. I appreciate the lovin's, but the butthole against my body still is uncomfortable. Skip it! Skip it! Is Aunt B here? Yeah, she is Aunt B. It's nice seeing you. You're just trying to drink my water. Dan is here too, and Duck Dad sending you some lovin's. Joe Schmo too. Let me see. Good morning, infinite need sex. Yes, Natalie, we need the bad to give contrast meaning to the good. This is the way. Kitty is caressing me with her little tail. Thank you, Kitty. Yeah, now Kitty is just chilling. Yeah, you can just sit there, looking all cute and stuff. Good morning, Melt, and all of you dear friends. I have come to know and to love. I love that. Thank you, Brother Dan, for knowing that love is the thing you need to know about, and love is the thing that you want to know. Right? Right? Two full rain barrels with a bit of extra. Now to start taking it before it freezes again. Oh yeah, it's cold. I forgot about that. The fact that water can freeze when it's as cold as it is for you friends. Like I've only once seen water freeze because of how cold it is outside. Melty, Shanna, Joy, and Duck. So much love to you. Love to you too, Brother Joe. Love is true. Uh, equality, equality is such a hard one, right? How do we? Oh, I saw like a little white bug in my water, and I thought it was like a piece of poop or something, and then I took it out of the water, and then it jumped. Yeah. So yeah, how do we reach a level of equality? Is it even possible? Is it even possible for us to reach a society where everybody has the same? I don't think so. But what I would like to believe is that we're going to reach a level where we create a standard, right? And that is obviously, as soon as we talk about standards, obviously that is going to cause problems of its own, right? I understand, bear with me. But if we can reach a level of being like, you know what? It is our standard that every single person at least has a place to live, right? That the housing is a human right, has enough food to eat, right? Feeding people is a human right as well, and energy so that they can keep themselves warm, their devices charged, for example. I feel that isn't too much of a tall order, right? Like, we can still have the inequality that some people get off on, while at the same time making sure that everybody is at least equal enough with what is important, right? With the bare necessities. I'm sorry. Right? Is that too much to ask, humanity? That we just try to at least take care of people? I feel like the thing is it's such a insurmountable task. Is that the right word? Hey Google, define insurmountable. Or is it of a sir? Insurmountable. Yeah, it is insurmountable. Too great to be overcome. It feels like an insurmountable problem, right? Solving human poverty completely. And there's like some of the friends that have shared with me, and something that I, in part, also believe that poverty can be seen something as a mentality, right? Instead of just a financial well being. That there can be poor people in the world who only have money, you know? So, yeah, I'm I'm painfully aware of today's stream topic because it's difficult for me, right? Because on the one side, I acknowledge fully that all of the everything, including the suffering, needs to be so that things are infinitely as they are right now, right? And then at the same time, I don't even for a second want to take it as a given or take it as a rule, take it as an inevitability that there are going to be people that suffer more than others, right? Oh goodness. And then as I'm saying it, my mind is like generating fractals of why it needs to be that way or why it will always be that way, why humans basically do it to themselves over and over again. We'll get to see at least, right? When there's so much extra abundance in the world, because there already is enough, right? That's the joke as well. There's more than enough abundance in the world. But now over the next 10, 20, 40 years, we're going to embrace a new cycle of living where the abundance we have right now is going to be dwarfed, all right? Like a fraction That we have a fraction of the abundance that we'll have over the next 50 years. When it comes to our technological advancement, with automation, with AI doing legwork, right? Busy work, if you will. What are we going to do with all of this abundance if not take care of people, right? Sure, we can build cool things. We can start colonizing different worlds. We can, you know, add more abundance onto our technology. But for what? For what, right? If we're going to be doing everything, what are the first things that are supposed to be done? What is important? Money is a fallacy. This is true. I agree. Shan, we had our storm last night, but a big temperature drop of cold for the next 5 days. Thank you for making sure that you're keeping the water liquid. Some stuff just has to happen. It's like the first rule of storytelling. Yeah, Sam. On that note, I'm gonna start this thing up. Equality. Mm. Let's see. Hey Google, define equality. Equality, the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, or opportunities. Why, like right off the bat, opportunities, impossible. It is impossible, and I do believe this. It's impossible for us to make all opportunities equal, right? Just for instance, me, that I am privileged, and I'm putting it in freaking asterisks because I don't actually like using that word because it has a attachment to it as well, right? I am privileged enough to have a family that is willing to feed me during this time of my life, right? And then because of that privilege, I can do what it is I'm doing right now. I have the opportunity to be able to do what it is we're doing right now, right? Just that, right? That obviously isn't going to be equal right through society. Then there's also the fractal of everything you went through growing up, right? Like the person you are was shaped by the everything you've been through. And then the everything you've been through and the person you've become opens up to you the opportunities of your life, right? And how do we equal that? Status. That's almost harder, right? But that one I can't kind of logic myself into figuring out because I believe we're all equal, right? As human beings in that way, right? Like my status isn't any higher than yours because I am also a person, you know? I eat food with my face whole. I breathe oxygen. I sleep sideways, right? On a horizontal plane. Yeah, human being, right? On that level, we're all equal. And I feel like that we can do, where we can basically establish a society where people are people, you know. Maybe if the future being very much AI driven, we won't have traditional leaders anymore. Status symbols when it comes to all of these things. And then rights obviously. There we're getting a little bit closer and closer to having equal rights for everybody. But goodness, does it feel insurmountable, right? It's not. It's not. We just haven't had access to enough brain power, enough connection, enough alignment. I feel is a good word to actually solve these problems properly because it was so beyond just a single person. A lot of the problems we face and a lot of the problems we will face in the future aren't going to be small enough for one person to solve. Esrog, dude, it's been a while, friend. We've been missing you. But together, as the everything, we can solve every problem, right? That's today's topic. Believe in yourself. Know that you are participating in the whole. You are making a difference. I have had my brain cracked open over the last few days. It's been humbling and beautiful. We have work to do. I'm hoping you're speaking in metaphor when you say those words, Joe Schmo. Hearing your words of I had my brain cracked open, that just sounds like a little bit concerning, just like this. Slither of concerning. There was a red sky this morning, so there's a storm coming. That's how it works. There's red skies every single morning, depending on how early you wake up for us. Joe, what happened? Money is a fallacy. Yes, it is. I'm curious as well, Joy. Thank you for asking. We get a storm from tomorrow afternoon to Sunday afternoon after the most of the snow had melted yesterday. You friends really sent the heat yesterday. I'm so happy to feel you being warm again. Little early to be starting with society as a Elijah. Wakes up in the morning. Society! We live in a society! Goes full Joker. Starts painting yourself in the mirror. Like, doesn't miss a beat. Gets right into it. Merging more of my time at home. I'm happy to hear that. Take care of yourself, Auntie. How about the kids? I'm curious. Doc, the difference between me and Dale is that I didn't spend the night marinating in my own crazy in a windowless basement. You know, even though I agree that maybe physically you weren't doing that, conceptually, in this weird mindset I have right now, it's maybe not a basement, maybe an attic. Your attic is your skull, you is your brain, and you are locked in that windowless attic, you know? Marinating in your own crazy. So maybe all of us are. Hey Jacob, it's nice having you too, brother Bear. How are you doing, man? How's life treating you? Equality, equal. All things are equal. Hey, Peter, and hey, Brandon. It's nice seeing you, friends. Someone calling me daddy or what the fuck? Sam, I did not pet turtles or barrels of Mountain Dew, though. What? Fuck that? What does that mean? I did not pet turtles or barrels of Mountain Dew, though. I'll also be. I also started singing Bare Necessities Dune. Like, unironically, one of my favorite songs to just randomly sing is Ooby Doo. I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you, it's true. Oh, Ooby Doo. I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you. It's true. My sister has friends over multiple times for me to remember, or I have to like actually stand there and social anxiety myself into remembering it, which I can do at least. I do it well at least. You know, I'll just be like, "Her name is what? Ski Bob." So ski, going down a mountain, bop, like banger ass music. So every time I see you, I'm gonna be like, this person will probably be able to ski down a mountain while listening to banger ass music. Ski bop. You know, that's what I do. And then I remember. But if I don't do that, then I usually don't. But it's also sometimes awkward. We all certainly all did. That's true. Wealth takes many forms. Oh yes, it does. And I feel all of you friends are infinitely wealthy. Georgia, you will take it. I'm so confused. I wish I had the Abundance of Melt shirt collection. This is another banger. These are, my mom bought me two of these t-shirts recently. She was like, yeah, you need more clothing. And I keep telling her, no, stop. Please. Please. I'm trying to wear my other clothing into desolation. A Sadi Ruse. Interesting username. I take a certain level of pride in being loyal to things. You know, one of you friends actually noticed it and said something beautiful, something like maybe we'll have friends as loyal as Melt is to his cup or something in that context. And I was like, oh. Yeah, keep the things you have. Love the things you have like they are God, right? Even this cup. Thank you, Ermias Plur. We haven't said his name in a long time. Ermias Plur. Ermias meaning God will uplift. Plur being peace, love, unity, and respect. Mm. Does broadcasting these streams in front of my kids count as exposing them to televangelism? Hmm. I don't believe so, right? Hey, Google, define televangelism. Televangelism, an evangelical preacher who appears regularly on television to promote beliefs and appeal for funds. Well, I do this whether or not I get funds, fortunately. So there I can write myself off. I do promote beliefs, but my beliefs are very simple. Love is true. All right. Whatever you do in your life, make sure it is loving. And if you do that, your life will be true. All right. Good. Have a direction that you actually want to be going in. So, and then I can ask this as well. Hey Google, what is evangelical? Evangelical is a preacher of the gospel of the Christian religion. So I'm free there as well, because I am not a Christian. My name is literally Christian, which is a little bit of a weird thing, right? My real name, Estian, is my numnam, which is like literally in because that's the way you would translate it, is like my name, because but it's not my name. It's the name that people name me to name me, but not the name that they named me when they wrote down my name on my paperwork. I know, numnam. So yeah, I'm not. I believe love is true. I believe there is no separating yourself from it. I believe if you could, even for a moment, separate yourself from love, your body would fall dead to the ground like a lifeless husk. I'm sorry. That might be a little bit visceral. But yeah, you are loved, right? And I hope if anything, that isn't something that can ever be steeped in dogma, right? How do you dogma affirming the belief that you are loved, right? Without condition, right? Like the condition is you existing. That is the condition to prove that you are loved. That is the way I think of it. So the only way for you to be convinced you're not loved is for you to cease to exist. You see what I mean? So I don't even know if that's a belief. That's true to me. Again, it's just straight up true. Corey, brother bear, it's so nice seeing you, man. You've been missed. Sending you some lovin's. Mm-mm-mm. The broadcasting. I hope everyone feels well, even if it's only for a moment. Thank you, Corey, for that love. Natalie, all good calls need children is the ninja fam. All feeling better now, Corey. Corey, I started yoga with way too much positive energy and sent the excessive into the universe. Hopefully, some of it finds our friends here with your sentiments. Thank you for that. We can collectively solve every problem. However, I also create every problem. Just a wee little lobotomy for Joe. No biggie. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying, dude. It's like I feel the problem, the ultimate problem, right? And this is obviously my dogma, to say it in so many words. My ultimate problem is separation, right? Every single time I become convinced I'm separate from everything else, from the experience I'm having, from the person hurting me, from the thorn I step in, from my technology breaking, etc., 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 etc. Whatever thing can convince you that you are separate. Oh, it's me versus the world, right? I suffer. I instantly suffer. And that suffering leads me to also think things that cause me more suffering. So I believe we do create that, as you mentioned, right? Like it's the I. that creates that separation as well. Sometimes it's a defense mechanism, sometimes it's just the ego literally getting in the way, causing separation, like an actual thing standing between you and that which you are. And the only way, in my mind, to solve the problem of separation is to remind consciousness of its unity, right? Of its oneness of everything. And I do it in every single moment for myself. So it only feels right that we do it every day, right? It's like, well, every day we're gonna be conscious. So we might as well be conscious every day, right? Consciously evolving every day. And then if the day comes that we're no longer conscious, right? We die, then it is gonna be done, right? Because then we were conscious for every day we were alive, and now that we're no longer alive, at least this version of our consciousness doesn't have to be. It is complete. It is a part of the everything, right? Not lost. Cannot be lost. Time doesn't even exist, right? Everything is happening simultaneously, all over the place, all the time, right? That it like let's take one step beyond. Do aliens exist or not, right? Because within infinity, everything, again, everything exists. But that isn't even the craziest part. If we accept, right, that aliens do exist, aliens exist right now, right? That there is an alien family having an alien conversation about an alien TV show they just aliened, right? An alien pair of kids fighting over an alien snack. All of that stuff, right? Like the fact that that is true for humanity as well, that every single other person is alive in the same right now that we all are. It's almost absurd, right? It's like what? How much is happening right now? And that's just humanity. Just humanity making so much of the everything, right? The infinity that we consider being. I spilled some of my water. I still have some of it left. Thank you. I don't want to get the cushion wet though. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Are you looking for opportunities to embarrass them? Everyone high fiving Purge of Instruction. Red sky, sailor delight. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. It was used to guess weather conditions. Oh, maybe the red skies, maybe the red, like being able to see red later into the day, could mean that the sun is shining through or into clouds, and those clouds could potentially wash over the sea where you're fishing. All right, maybe that's the logic behind it. Natalie, I had to pack up and get to work at the end of the yoga session, but wanted to say that your energy this morning was beautiful, beautifully infectious. Yeah, it's nice. Like it's so crazy you say that, Jovan. I don't know if you were there for it, but the first words that Natalie said is that she has an infectious amount of energy, and I was like, infect me. And then you said, like I Natalie, did she was she there for it? I don't know. That makes my heart happy to hear, right? Hey Shrumo, it's nice seeing you too, Fred. We've missed you. It's nice having you here. Is everyone vibing? High five and virtual instruction. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Doug, it's crazy how opening just one door can unleash a flood of information that seemingly solidifies multiple theories. It's been eventful. No hallucinogens, by the way. We don't need them, right? That's the weird thing for me. You can actually do it by yourself. Like yesterday, I had a moment where it's almost like I asked to be higher. And I was specifically thinking about LSD, right? And I was just sitting, thinking to myself what that mind space is like, and being conscious of my breath. And, by the end of the session, I was in that space where you almost have to just sit still and be without anything, right? Like you find yourself pausing. And sometimes it's good to take pause. Sometimes it's good to take some pause, to just be with what you have right now, to be with what you are, to realize that you are a part of the everything, right? And then just to be everything, to be like, yeah, everything and at peace. I came in at just the right time for the Scooby Doo. Does the Jungle Book mean something special to you, Melty, since you live in the jungle? It's like the fondness of a dairy farm in the Midwest. I feel like there were just so many things in the Jungle Book that made me feel seen, right? I still feel like a wild animal sometimes, right? And I'm like being mindful to not be a wild animal. It's a word, right? So I guess I saw some sort of freedom in Mowgli's life, right? Just being able to exist. Your problems are so much different, right? Getting eaten by a snake is your problem, or a freaking panther. Those are some problems, dude. Not this. What movie am I supposed to watch as a child? Not this, right? Like I used to be so salty. Like I feel, and this was something I was thinking about today. There is something in my consciousness that really likes to be at a state of rest, right? And that is a very nice way of saying lazy. So fucking lazy. It's just like, nah. Move? Nah. Nah, nah, nah. Do something? No, 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 no. No doing something. Only doing nothing. Why? Oh, why? And like, so for instance, like, sorry for the shit, like, kind of divulging into this point. Coming back to where I was going, I would have to, because our VHS tape machine was broken, or I don't know if it didn't have the feature, but I would have to hold in the back skip button to reverse the tapes, right? And then sometimes you wouldn't reverse the tapes because it is so much easier to press the eject button and then to put in a new tape that is already have been reversed, right? And then you put it back in the freaking little plastic casing and you get that satisfying snap, and then you put it back in the drawer, and then you make a mental little freaking attachment, a fractal, knowing that you didn't rewind that tape. And then slowly but surely you run out of tapes to watch. And then I'm in that red space where I have to tape after tape after tape. My favorite movie, the one I watched over and over again the most, The Road to El Dorado. And then the second one was Lilo and Stitch. That movie. I was I was convinced. I was completely convinced that if I had a Stitch in my life, everything would be okay. Right? Everything. Suddenly all my problems solved. If only I had a Stitch. Right? And I remember so viscerally going through these fractals of like imagining, seeing a Stitch in my life. Right? He would follow me around, sit on my shoulder. He can lift fridges. He can catch cars with those little arms of his. He can grow extra arms. I don't know why, but the extra arms part was so cool to my brain. I was like, wait a fucking second. Something that is bipedal, opposable little fingers, can grow an extra pair of arms. with extra hands and opposable little fingers and knows how to control them. Yeah, if I have one of those, my life and all my problems are solved. And I wished, oh goodness, I prayed even. I prayed to have a Stitch. I was like, please, just like crash land one spaceship with a Stitch in it for me. Just like one. I mean, there's so much infinity out there. Come on. Oh, come on, one. I want a Stitch. I mean, it worked for Lilo. It worked for her. They hid him and stuff. The secret agents came. They couldn't take him. Right? And then there was more aliens coming along later. And then there was more Lilo and Stitches. Well, I don't know what you call them. They were more experiments. Right? So many more. The whole freaking Disney show. What am I doing right now? The everything, right? Like that is a part of some of your friends' fractals. Part of my fractal. Like so much of my childhood was all locked up in wanting a Stitch. And I caught myself suffering. Right? I guess I learned my lesson. Wanting something you can't have makes you suffer. How about that? It's like, yeah, you want an alien? Not even an alien. You want a bio experiment made by a mad scientist alien. And this bio experiment just so happened to get himself a little spaceship and fly away and crash land on Earth. And of all places in the entire universe. And you want these events to happen in real life? And only when they happen will things be easier? When your life be okay? Will you have friends? Oh, goodness. The Road to El Dorado, that movie took me on whole other trips. Again, friendship. I'm starting to see similarities. And then you asked, just make sure exactly, the Jungle Book, right? Also, such insane friendships. Friendships between animals that could never be friends, right? A human and a bear. A human and a bear. A brown bear that lives in the jungle. Have you seen the scale of those things? And you're like sleeping on its chest and stuff. Yeah, friendship. How about that? Very much the fondness. Thank you for asking, Duck Dad. We're a bunch of happy hippies with our vibey high five. The Jungle Book. Such a fun fractal, right? Joe, I feel you, man. I had quite a few of those yesterday as well. Always down to chat. If we need to pack your brain back up, please do reach out, right? Shoot people messages. But every single one of us are an infinity to be explored. And we can spend an infinite amount of time exploring only my and your infinity, right? It's a little bit intimidating. That's why we get to choose. Right? That's why we show up in the way that we do. Thank you. Do reach out to each other. Doc, I usually keep my brain relatively packed up. I'm happy to have this overspill feeling for the first time. You've been showing up for it, Brother Bear. You've been putting in the work. Your mind space has intrigued me, right? I'm also curious. Joe sounds like brothers for another mother to me, of course, for the first time in a few months. Mel, how is your sis and mama? They're doing well, actually. Like, really well. I haven't heard them complain about anything for like weeks. And I'm like, Melty is a very blue today. Squat out. I mean, we have to have like, can't be outdone with sky. Oh, technically, there's a lot of clouds. But yeah, Melty, did you remedy today? Not yet. I'm thinking about it though. I'm sorry, Shan. I don't. Maybe I should put it. I should put it somewhere else. Maybe I'll put it in my computer room, where I journal, and then I'll take my first drops as I start journaling. That will be the way. Because like as soon as I came to stream, that's when my mind came to put drops in the water. But I haven't dropped them on my tongue directly just yet. They have been helping though. I do feel more and more balanced. I'm also fasting again. I probably shouldn't have said anything, Pretend I didn't. I just made a bunch of sounds. Right, that's what I said. Corey, we are like 6 days into duckling having some weird respiratory infection. I feel for you, man. Goodness, brother bear. I'm sorry to hear that. Sending you a little one, full breaths of air. Your real brother. Hi, friends. I'm sick today, Louisiana, as well. Another migraine, and now a sick tummy. I hope you're all doing well. Drink enough water. I hope you feel better soon, dear friend. I'm sorry to hear you're going through it as well. Your food cup had a temperament last night, and she's coughing and sneezing. The synchronicities with stuff like this as well. That every single time I close my eyes these days, I'm just seeing fractal flowers. They're so pretty. I'm attaching good thinking to why it is I'm seeing them, what I'm seeing them for. Hey, Corey, I'm so sorry to hear that. Sending her all the comfort and healing energies. I hope she feels better soon. Thank you, Shan, for echoing that love as well. Lois, sending some healing energy and vibes your way. Tummy thing going around here too. My mom had it for a few days. Goodness. I like your outfit today, Melty. Thank you, Joy V. I also like it. It's a little bit more subtle, right? I feel like I can be less conspicuous wearing what I'm wearing. I'm even wearing short pants. I'm just wearing like basic ass shorts. Clothing is weird. I've been thinking a lot about what we friends talked about. And yeah, again, right? The same thing with seeing the flowers. I like to attach all of the imaginations to almost seeing it as we're building something in the future, right? The only way for you to actually see something in reality is to see it in your mind's eye first. And the more we do, the closer it gets. How about that, Shrumo? Divinity in disguise. Dude, if your divinity in disguise, your disguise is melting. Because I see you. Sending some healing vibes. Thank you again. Oof, Doug, sorry to hear that. Sending love. Thank you. Thank you, friends, for all the love you're sharing. Comfort. Love more. Joe, feeling good, man. Going to try and forget about work at least for a bit today, since I can't work anyway. Getting ready for tomorrow. Big long day. How was yesterday? I was curious about your 7 hour day. Storm brewing behind Melty. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully. It would be nice to get even more water falling on the farm. Shan, thanks, but she's bouncing off the damn walls. I just can't take her anywhere. So she doesn't get out of sick. Nice. Thank you for being a mindful parent. I need that healing energy for my patience and imagination. Take it, brother bear. Take it like a big breath. In with healing energy, out with old stagnant energy. In with healing energy, out with old stagnant energy. Melting. More still. Nice. Thank you for bringing that to my mind as well. Joe, that storm is making that scarf combo. Bah! It's March, so that's what we do. Oh, then patience and imagination coming your way. Melt, I love that shirt and scarf. Cannot wait for today's fractal. It's gonna be an interesting one. Yesterday's, I spent a lot of time making yesterdays, right? Like I meticulously made every single bend, and then when I folded it together, I couldn't find something that actually showcased the way I spent time bending these things because it was an 8 flower. So the complexity revealed collapses as you keep adding more vectors, right? Because the space in which you can see the complexity is smaller. Yeah, like okay, Mel. Thank you for your insane talk. So, in other words, if it was simpler, you would be able to see more of the work that I try to do by itself instead of mangled onto itself, right? Melted into itself. But this is the flower that I ended up picking yesterday. Is that one, right? So all of these whoosh, the way they fold into the orange and out of the orange, and the way the orange fell as well, that I did with my, you know, mindfulness, to say it in so many ways. That's the one that won. But they were contestants, right? Like really good contestants. All of them turned out so well. These are the ones that didn't get to make the cut. So I think of it like growing little flowers, and then some of them get pruned, right? And after they get pruned, they get sent to the ranch. Stayed in this folder. Like this one, the way these bits kind of like came together really, satisfied my brain. But I felt like I was losing some of the orange. Oh goodness, I scrolled the wrong. Like some reflections happening. That works. Come on, priest. There we go. This one's kind of the same, but I just zoomed out a little bit. That was day before's attempts. Like all of them, they always like sometimes I'll do more than other times, but I usually have to do like a few, and then I pick from my favorites, and then I go through like a whole color correction process. Like, did I just nanny? Oh, I'm hitting a little bar. No, thank you. Yeah. Then there would be these are the ones that actually make it. Man, like doing this in reverse is breaking my brain completely. All right, there we go. And we all know Zana, she's actually here right now, is going through a fractal of trying to turn them into a book. I do like a little bit of a creative writing piece, at least these days, with every single flower. Usually it was just kind of an accounting of what we talked about. So we're seeing things happening slowly but surely. These flowers make me happy. Thank you, Lovazana, for bringing to my mind your excitement to see what I can make with these things. Mm. Duck says, Sam, I saw a genius post on Reddit about telling their kid that their bike was powering the TV. I don't know if you want to go that particular route, but you could use it as an inspiration. That is ingenious. You know, is it evil to lie to your kids like that? It would be good for them, right? Oh goodness. So this is the way I feel about it, right? Because I have actually thought about this as a means to get people to exercise more. Is just apply a principle in your life that you call active watching. So if you decide you're gonna spend an hour watching something, only do it with the condition, if you will, that for like half of that time you do it standing up, right? And it's helped me, right? Just like actively watching something where I'll like shift my weight from one foot to another. And then if you want to add more intensity, you can just hold your arms to your side, forward, to the side. And you can still watch something, but it's going to be significantly better for your body than just sitting down and doing nothing. So, yeah, maybe attaching your kids' TV time to that condition, right? Like you can watch TV, it's fine, but you can't do it sitting down, at least for half of the time that you do it for, right? I think so. My parents' rule, at least when I was a child, was no TV unless it's raining outside, right? So I fucking rejoiced triple when it started raining outside because it meant that I could sit inside and watch, one of my movies. Basically, right? Not cable TV, just one of my VHS movies over and over again, right? And I loved it. I was like, fucking, it's raining. I would run. I would sprint inside. Like, think about that. So because, and it is this way in South Africa. Sometimes it will only rain for like 20 minutes or something. So as soon as drops start falling on the ground, I would sprint inside to get the TV on because I knew I had the excuse of it's raining outside, right? Even if it like food drops. Oh goodness, man, old fractals are coming back. The everything, right? The stuff I had to go through as a child to be who I am right now. The landscape and the shirt. Again, thank you so much, friends, for all of the love. For us to build a toy box. I'm home with Miles today with a tummy bug as well. I hate it for him, but grateful for time at home with my loves, of course. Sending him love as well. I'm so sorry to hear all of you friends, going through bodily struggles. At least the way that I see it is we are, all of us collectively, a part of the everything, going through some sort of evolution, right? Because you do evolve every single time you get sick. Your body evolves to not be in that state again. So be mindful of your evolution. Thoughts on people being immortals and thoughts being mortals. Thoughts on people being immortals and thoughts being mortals. I'm guessing you're maybe talking about it in the opposite way, Shrumo. Thoughts on people being mortals and thoughts being immortals. In that context, I can understand the question you're asking. But in the way you're asking it, my thoughts are no. Because people can't be immortal, right? Not the people you are right now. The fleshy interacting with the world as a three-dimensional being, peopling, right? Because eventually, even if we figure out the best technology, there's going to be a heat death of our universe, right? And that's so far away. That's so absurdly far away that it's almost uncomfortable to think about living that long, right? To be that immortal. But thoughts, on the other hand, can be that immortal without it bothering it, right? For instance, and it's very unlikely, but for instance, if our internet survives to the heat death of the universe, by star hopping from one dying star to another, from one dying black hole to another, etc., 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 right? Until the inevitable complete, right, heat death of the universe, and then still trying to survive longer. A thought that we recorded on this internet right now could be played back, and it would be exactly the same thought. It would be exactly the same expression of that thought, and it wouldn't be bothered by that, right? It would just be our way. Let's think this thing again. 77 billion years later. I love my psychic friends, and we love you, dear friend. It's the last day of their spring break, and I've been working, so I'm leaning into the positive. I'm happy that you are. Oh, goodness. I hope Miles feels better soon on P. Thank you for all of the love. There are species of jellyfish that are functionally immortal, Shrumo. They reach a certain age, molt and revert back to their youngest state, and they grow again. This is true. This is true, actually. Yeah, it's very cool. We understand that it's possible with DNA to achieve some level of immortality, right? But still, even if we do, what does immortal mean to you? What does immortal actually mean to you? Because if you live 1 billion years, do you understand what that means? All right? You're going to literally live like 20% of how long the Earth has been around for, conceptually, apparently. Right? I don't know. But this is what the data says. That is an absurd amount of time. Right? I want to live for 1,000 years. And even that is an absurd amount of time. I want to live at least 1,000 years. At least 1,000 years, please. Right? But a billion? That is practically immortality. And that is still going to be a fraction of actual immortality, right? Actual infinity. Like you're already infinite in that way. Like you're already immortal. The part of you that is aware, awareness of being is immortal, right? The thinker or the one perceiving the thought is the immortal one. The one having the thought is the mind, the body, the experiencer. That part does die. But the awareness of the thought and the awareness that the thought brings to awareness, that remains. Still remains part of the everything. It's stressful because I know I'm needed at work. Maybe you not being at work can make them miss you even more. And then when you do get to go back, you'll be a little bit more appreciated. Sorry to hear that that bug hit our house 2 weeks ago. Hope it passes quickly, if not gracefully. Thank you for that, Corey. So much love. So much resonation with you, my sphere Mowgli buddy. I see you, dude. Friends, oh, you know what? I think I'll take Duckling to get the Jungle Book, to get the book Jungle Book from the library. You can read it today. Her first big book. That's gonna be cool, dude. Share that fractal, man. So much love to you. So much love to all of you. Thank you, friends. Hey, Raiden. He's here too. We see you, dude. And I seem to be hitting the vein or inspiration everywhere I dig. Also, thanks, Joe. Your blessings is literally coming true. As are yours, bro. As are all of us. The more and more we show up, the more and more they will. That's tough on B. I'm sure Miles loves having his mom take care of him, though. They're doing beyond great, friend. And we don't get to have many of those moments, so even more power to you. Whoa! Skip out! Zero! Yeah, I think I felt a little bit dehydrated, so I decided to drink more water. Sam, you want to see? Right here or somewhere else. I'll go with whatever we all prefer. Want to see the stuff that you've been writing? Share, dude, if you can. Please do. I know you're from the talk. I'm so confused. I feel kind of lost in lurk mode slash listen mode. Being pulled in every direction lately. But I'm really looking forward to the weekend away from the daily work grind where I can be fully present with you, friends. Fully present with you in this moment, even if you can't be. Right? Because you cannot not be present in the moment, technically. And in a single breath, you can feel the people you have with you here. You can feel the love. We love you, dear friend. Hope you're doing okay. You're my Stitch Bro, Melt, and whatever else wants to be a proper manic monster. Yeah, that's a massive compliment. Thank you. Thank you, Gable. In my childhood home, we had a rewinder that looked like a car. We called it the binder. For some reason. I love it. Maybe you called it a binder when you were like a little kid and then it like stuck like meat sacks are sticking right now. This feeling always exists. You merely need to find it. Of course. Magic Scarf, Melt is very blue. Again, love. I didn't do my remedy. Man, did I space? Road to El Dorado was my favorite too, but you know this. Miguel and Tulio, exactly. The soundtrack by Elton John slaps so hard. And Kevin Klein, the voice of Tulio, was my crush as a kid. I loved every single bit of that movie. I don't know if there's any part of the movie that I would change. Hey friends, sorry if I'm missing you. Love you. Yeah, like seriously, I feel that movie was so well paced. Like they told a story that still resonates with me to this day. Friendship, man, also fucked me up a little bit with my sexuality. Fucking Disney, what did you do? Oh, why? Why are you doing this to me? Disney, come on, Disney, please. Oh, yeah, being a human being, yo. That movie, I watched it recently, actually. You know, and it still holds up. Yo, even I think it's even better watching it as an adult because you can really feel how much of your everything contributes to what it is you're seeing. Yes, Bethany, what color is it? Ours was a clear green plastic car, of course. I'm happy to hear your those vibrations are bringing you balance, Mel. Thank you, Shan, again, for making it happen. I I think that today's card will be green flags and orange lines with a face and many hands. Also a triangle at the top of birds. That's wildly specific. I look forward to seeing which card we pull, dude. Like, I'm gonna trip out no matter what, though. Wait, where are all those comments from Twitch? Because mine aren't on the YouTube. Most of the comments I've been reading, the comments I'm seeing on this side are just like a person is watching. They're not saying anything, so I don't really have something to reply to other than hello. Melt, you're sticking out in all of the green like a blue, like a sky blue thumb. Nice. Yesterday was great, man. Busy and hectic, but found an awesome space with some inspiration on my YouTube. The Melt crew kept me company. Pictures in the Discord. Workday 100% achievement unlocked. I'm thinking, like, I've been thinking about this, right? And I might be completely wrong, but you could, like, very much fill a niche of just teaching people the basics of what it is you're doing, right? Teaching people how to grow their own food as well. And that is potentially going to cut into your profits. But you could then, instead of having to just sell produce, also transition yourself into someone who can sell the service of teaching people how to do what it is you do, right? And that can be potentially a higher ticket item than produce can be, right? I've obviously, as soon as you friends share a fractal with me, my mind, starts imagining with you, starting to live into the assumed reality of your success. Little by little, friends, little by little, small steps. Small steps make big power. Melt flower bender. Like I do plan on, going for something like that as well with like my dancing at one point. Like as I dance, I'm going to have different positions, or I'm gonna have like sensors that go on my fingers. So if I move my fingers in different ways, I'll change my environment, change the flowers, right? I can like hold on to this thing and then pull a piece of the fractal and then can dance with that. Change the parts of the fractal that I want to actually change. Yeah. In time. In time. Right now, we can be calm. Yes. Look at how normal we are. People are gonna look back at this time of Meltmore as the tame ages. Before the technological singularity really hit. Really hit. It's like we took drugs, right? Technology is the drugs we're taking right now. And it hasn't actually started kicking in just yet. Right? Like it's working. It's really working right now. Like we're getting dopamine in a way we've never been fed dopamine before through these devices. Right? But it's still only kicking in. Is this only my eyes? I know what I'm saying. We're gonna we're gonna see some crazy shiznit. It's gonna be all the more important to take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your spirit, right? And spirit can just be Your awareness of being. Take care of your awareness of being. As silly as that sounds. Make yourself aware of good things. All right, that's the way I believe we take care of that awareness of being. Mel going to DM you a tech question for streaming. Please do, duck that. Please do. Putting in that work. These orange hearts and the flower, right? Thank you. So much love. Worth every moment. Duck, your stream was so fun yesterday. Thank you, Shad, sharing that love. In the Japanese culture, stagnation usually happens in places that really lack movement. I mean, that seems obvious, but think of it like a pool of stagnant water, breeding bacteria and insects. So, for new energy, start moving. Yes! It might seem paradoxical, but if you are stuck, movement will actually help. Exactly. Go for a walk. Go for a walk. Move your body, right? Like, get on a yoga mat. That's what I do. Get on a yoga mat. You don't even know what you're supposed to do. Just start doing things, right? Start stretching yourself. Start going onto your side. Start twisting your body. Notice where you're hurting, right? Push yourself into all of the vectors of movement you want to be moving. And that will change your life straight up, right? Because I feel like fitness is something that is very much glorified, and the fitness industry probably creates a fractal that's disgusting in your mind, right? Like this glorification of bodies, of certain bodies, of bodies needing to look a certain way. Where in my mind, fitness is a gateway to you improving your life, right? That the body is like a consolation prize, right? Like, oh, congratulations, you've done the work of taking care of yourself. Now you have this body. But the actual taking care of yourself is what it's for, right? It's like a love. It is a worship. That's the way I've been trying to see it these days. It is a worship, literally. Like you're worshiping your awareness of being, right? By using your awareness of being to be aware of things that are difficult. And you know that's good for you. You know that putting yourself through hard things makes you stronger. And that strength, translates to pretty much everything else, to all of the other things that you kind of pursue. Shan, thank you kindly. Hard to get back in the groove, but I miss our pants so much. Tomorrow, we will all just sit and stare at the concrete mixer in action. Sounds like riveting content. All right? For me, it doesn't have to be. You are providing the fractal of people being allowed to see, right? See what it is you're seeing, see what it is you're doing. Share the fractal of your being. Because that to me in my mind is how we collapse this separation, right? This belief that we are separate. Because and I like it's so easy. It's so easy to become convinced of that. So many of us in this age is still hidden in so many ways, right? Like obscurity is the word comes to mind. Hey Google, define obscurity. There is 17 friends watching right now. It is 17:17 on my clock, and it's the 17th of March. Mm, yeah. Obscurity, the state of being unknown, inconspicuous, or unimportant, right? That a lot of people live in that space where they're considered unimportant. When we know that there's no such thing as an unimportant person, right? Again, everything is a part of everything. You as part of that everything. And that everything is important, right? That everything is very much important. Is that the flower you sent me? I think not. I think I sent you one of the other chaos ones. Day six's flower. Do. The flower is stunning. Thank you. Might have to start adding some of these to my workspace. I could do that. Love that. If you can tell me which ones you like the most, I could potentially add to one of the print on demand storefronts. the flower you would like. So if new energy start moving, again, I agree. Duck that, I missed it. I clicked on the link, but wasn't in the private group. Was it private? Not public? I'm sorry to hear that. Shan, thank you kindly. Again, love. Yes, Cave. Also important to move our bodies for fresh, oxidized blood. Exactly. The last blue and orange was gorgeous. I see Muppets for some of those. Me too. I saw a lot of characters in those little fractals. Yes, I reveal that you sent me a beautiful flower directly. As a man, I've never gotten a flower directly mailed, so that was beautiful. You were so welcome, Brother Bear. Thank you for receiving it so well. Physical movement inspires metaphysical opportunities. There we go. Yo, Joe, are you sure you weren't on my Only Farms? Got to pay for that. Oh no, that's a different one. A great sexy flower. It is. Great question. Garden. Seeing a grid of all of those thumbnails. Wow, that's gorgeous. I would be a good poster or a jigsaw puzzle. The all of them together? All of them together? Are you serious? I didn't even consider that. Even as a basic circle indoors, if you can't walk outside, it's so much better than just sitting and slouching before a screen. So, whatever you feel a lack of inspiration, just start moving. Literally warm up your brain. Get your blood flowing, right? Get your heart rate just a little bit up, just so that there's a little bit more of a aliveness, right? Because your body is aware of its own aliveness in that way as well. Sano saying, did you know a group of butterflies is called a kaleidoscope? Are you serious? So me and Mel paint the same thing. Yeah. What? Oh goodness, that makes me so happy. I don't like. I hope you know this. I have shared it before, but my spirit animal that I identify with is the butterfly, right? Straight up, the butterfly. For that, like an oh goodness, a a group of butterflies is called a kaleidoscope. Is that true? I want to like ask Google. That's how. That's like tripping my brain out so much. It's like yes, this feels like it's right. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Suzanne. Susanna, stretch and breathe and jump up and down for 3 minutes at least. Stretch a little bit. This is one of the most important things, right? Get that fascia moving. Susanna, is that real? Sounds too perfect, right? Right? I was also like, when it's too snowy and icy outside and I can't walk up and down in my driveway, I just go up and down my stairs for like 20 minutes. That works as well. And just like again, getting yourself on a yoga mat, right? And then propping yourself up on your arms, and then, putting your legs together and laying forward, putting one of your legs into your thigh, and then reaching to your other foot. Like stuff like that is so good for you. Just like gaining some mobility in yourself. Well, maybe, but only out of solidarity for realsies. Oh, I really like that minimalistic one. I was so proud to see Miles doing mindful breathing to subdue his nausea. He started having negative thoughts before bed, and we meditated on happy things with soft music played. It was so comforting. Thank you for teaching him these techniques so early. All right. If my parents taught me how to meditate as a child, I probably would have not needed to be sitting on the ground right now. I would have probably just been levitating. Right. I would be communicating through psychic waves instead of streaming live. Damn it, mom. But it's a part of my everything, right? And because I didn't get that, I get to be who I am. And Miles is going to get to be who he is growing up from his age, right? A 7 year old at this point, 7 year old who knows how to mindfully breathe when he has difficulty arising in his body, right? Instead of just losing his shit and just crying and, constantly being in a state of suffering, taking control over that which we have control over and being mindful of in that. I'm proud of you, Aunt B, as a mom for doing that. That's a good idea. Watching the first half of a movie, standing up and then sitting down. I will do that. Blessings. Thank you, Lovazana. It works. It like something that I do as well for myself. It really does help. No eye contact, please. I now have a melt flower memory. Lovely. Please. Make more in your brain. We do TV with stuff like Cuckoo Kangaroo, music made for kids to get up and jump. Nice. Rose, gotta be Rose, of course. Your perspective is helpful, but all of yours are. I started trying candlestick and flower mindful breathing to help Duckling when she's overwhelmed. She actually did it on her own the other day, and I had so many emotions. That's beautiful on V, right? So many of you friends sharing that fractals. We got two books about mindfulness for Fruit Cup. Will be a bit better when she's a bit older. But oh, still love reading them to her. I feel just showing her, right? Like maybe you burn your finger on the stove, and instead of going into a cursing fit, you can do that instead, right? And that already makes a difference. Like they get to see what's the better way to react, right? And then that becomes imprinted onto them. All right, friends, it's 10 a.m. and I need to get to hit a new gear. Listening in, sending you love, Bethany. Thank you for doing all of the mom things. Love, love, love is true. So much love. Buff, sexy gardening, Charlie Day, double loop convos. Like there's so many combos going on. Bethany, feel free to put that one in your pocket for later. Joe, I think the double loop is it reinforcing from my goldfish memory. Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal sometimes, and yet I feel like I'm growing an ability, right? To no matter the context. Hey, Ting, it's nice seeing you, friend. Sending you lovin's. Uh, Being able to come back to the conversation I was just having without actually completely losing my train of thought, even when I am interrupted for a moment. That feels like a skill, right? Our brains are getting stronger. More and more trains to keep trains of thought alive. I enjoy being a goldfish. Friday the 17th. Totally forgot the Irish are ready for drinks and fights today. Better stay indoors. Stay alive. I am mortal because I am not just the eye. I am immortal because I am not just the eye. Exactly. We are all temporary, and we will ever long be attached to the eternal collective knowledge. This I agree. It's a fun and exciting life as a human. Collective consciousness and external consciousness are both very real. Remember yourself. And remember that even if you melt, there's still going to be more still, right? Like I feel like that has been such a humbling and calming reminder for myself. One of the other things that I share with your friends, right? To melt more. I know it's kind of cringe for me to say it that way, but I do believe it, right? This experience of feeling like you're having a meltdown, feeling like you're losing your shit, feeling like you're, completely unaware, like you don't know anything, like you don't know who you are. All of these experiences only get you closer to the core of your being, and you can keep melting deeper and deeper into that core of your own awareness. And you'll never quite get to read the center of it because you are the center of it, right? And it's only once we completely, lose our shit sometimes, melt down completely, that we can actually come back to that moment. It is an experience though. It can be a little bit intimidating, losing yourself to find that you still are, right? Losing what you think makes up your life and still finding that you are experiencing, right? Like this analogy of you could be a person that has a wife, children, a house, a car, a well paying job. And then in a day, you can lose your job, your house can get repossessed, your car gets taken, your wife and children leave you, right? It could, in theory, happen that fast. Maybe they were planning this whole time, right? Conspiring, and then in a day, you lose all of these things. Now, all of these things that you were attached to literally melted away, right? So, what do you do? Do you give up and kill yourself, or do you melt more, right? Realizing that I can lose more still, right? On top of the fact that I just lost everything in my life, I can even lose my limbs, lose my ability to see, lose my ability to hear, lose my ability to taste and smell. I know, hectic, right? And yet still, there will be more awareness of being to melt. Isn't that crazy? I don't know, it boggles my mind. You, you are it, friend. Right? Remember yourself. Thank you, brother Joe. Melty, we are very much on the same plane. Next stream, I do try and pop in. Like, I didn't receive a notification. I feel bad for missing it, to be completely honest. What is the time, right? Give me a time. Be like, hey, Melt, I'm streaming at like 7 p.m. your time. Please be there. Then I can actually plan my day around it. Because like the time difference thing does kind of like mess things up a little bit. Pop in to get a better idea of what I do. I will. Thank you again. Maybe I'll actually like just check out the channel for now because you probably still have the recording up. You're a natural. My days always go smoother when I spend time with you people. We love you, Joshmo. I'm happy to hear you say that, dude. Like trying to provide a smooth experience when it comes to living. When it comes to our connection to love, right? Is the only thing that I feel is worth doing at this point. Always get smoother. Good morning, Saina. It's nice having you. Thanks kindly. Teaching people is a passion. This is the way, Brother Bear. This is the way. All those 17s. And my phone is at 47. Sending Shan love. I'm at 47 too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Susanna at 33. Doctor at 35, right? And the fact that they sent those messages back to back leaves for like a space for my imagination to imagine a new friend who somewhere in the world did have their phone at 34%, right? Part of the everything. Well, I have some beautiful photos I've taken in my garden of butterflies in May. Garden of butterflies. Nothing exotic, but I'll share them in the Discord. Please do. Oh, and tag me in them so I can, see the little notification pop up. Melt, spirit bug, spirit animal, third bugs, true. Uh, spirit guide, right? So I want to say it. Instead of animals, a spirit guide. My spirit guide is the butterfly. I'm happy to share a spirit bug, horoscope, and old Eldorado with you, Mel. We're both Tauruses as well. You're right. Yeah, that's true. To be honest, it messes with my sexuality too. They made Shell hypersexualized. Yes, they did. You see, I was like, I knew some of your friends would understand, but I assumed that it was the men that would understand. And the women are also like, yeah. Shell. Yossi. Joe, you said you've been viewing for the right time to have a consultation with me. I'm now ready whenever you are, my lovely friend. Thank you. Please do send a direct message as well, Shan. Boom, Joe. The Shan is ready. I had a dream. Did you already have your meeting with your instructor then? How did that go, Shan? Melt for the bug. I had a dream, but it felt so real that I was on the beach, facing the sun and the waves, and then I turned to the person next to me, and it was Meltmore. Boom. Right? That trips me out when I hear that. Dad, sending love is to Dad. It's nice having you here, dude. Like the fact that you friends can have dreams and you can completely have a version of me in your space, right? And you're like, yeah, this is Meltmore, right? And I'm like in your dream talking to you as myself. That that boggles my mind, right? Like we're all aware that dreaming is a thing, but why? Why are we so okay with it, right? Because what Saina just said to me is like she closed her eyes, her body went unconscious, and then she was in a different world, next to a beach, and she was convinced that she was there. And then she looked to her side, and then she saw me, a person thousands of miles away from her. And she was like, yeah, look, this makes sense. This is how it is right now. And then she went from unconsciousness to being consciousness, and then has the ability to use words to let me see it as well. And we're like, yeah, this is normal. Everyone does this. This is fine. This is okay. He was smiling and happy to be in the moment. When I woke up, it was a really good dream. Makes me so happy to know that at least, the dreams that you're having are blessed in that way. Curious to see faces in your dreams, or did you just know it was him? I'm curious as well, actually. I took pictures in my dream. It was beautiful. Cheese melt. What a coincidence. I was away for a bit and just came back to hear you talk about losing yourself. I just wrote a song for my niece, and the first line is, "There was a girl named Jolene. She was living in Winnipeg. She married young and she lost herself." Yo, more synchronicities, huh, Louisiana? Like, one of the things that I had, like, as a title or a bio, right, on the Reddit side for Arpan was showing up every single day as an opportunity for serendipity, right? I showed up. We went through all of these conversations. We managed to find that node, that conversation of losing yourself that you happen to write about today as well. And then you, right, showed up with this space. You went away and came back again to hear exactly that fractal. The odds of us even existing are infinitesimal, right? The odds of us sharing interactions like this are impossible, technically. And yet, here it is. How's coming? Shan, I appreciate you so much. I'll send you a Discord DM. There we go. Thank you, Jovan. I don't show face. I don't show faces with these. I don't see faces so often, unless I saw your face, but I saw his. But his hair was a dead giveaway. But mostly, I felt his energy. That's so nice. I was like, for some reason, I thought there was more to the message. Dreams. Have you friends seen Sandman? That scene with the people coming together and talking about dreaming of a better future for them. That scene will not fade from my brain. It felt like such a significant truth that my brain like seared it into my memory. It was like, look at this. Look at this over and over again. It has always been that way and it will always be that way. It can never be undone, right? This is the everything that we've wanted, that we allowed for, at least this round. And we can have it differently, but we're gonna have to choose. The recording got copy strikes for music, of course. I have to go quick. Love you. We'll see you again soon, Rather Duck Dad. Sup, again, other dad, thank you for joining us, dude. I'm so happy to share what I've learned. Sounds good, Joe. So much love. Thank you for the love, friends. Boopsie the moopsie. Yeah, must not have heard the thinger I sent you, Mel. Must not have heard the thinger I sent you? Maybe not. We are all Melt more. It's such a beautiful experience. Exactly, right? I am Melt in this scenario. You friends are literally more than me, right? Not only in the capacity of some of you friends might be older than me, some of you friends might have had different experiences, some of you friends might have more than me, right? Like there are so many nodes of moreness, right? And then every single one of you is an infinite duplication per person, right? More and then more and then more and then more and then, right? And then this collective experience we're having by tuning into this moment is Meltmore. This is Meltmore, right? The fractal. It's absurd almost, right? It's like, what? What's happening right now? We're human beings scattered all over the earth, having a unified experience remotely. A remote unified experience. Excuse me, what? The aliens are like, yeah, they're insane. What do you mean they're insane? Well, they're talking about being unified while they're thousands of miles apart from each other. And they were like, yassi, dude. Seems like they got to figure it out right now. Yeah, yeah. Birds are agreeing. They're like, yeah, 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 gang, gang. Yeah, I had a dream. I got covered in red spots and died. That's so abrupt. It's like, I have red spots on me. Dead. Maybe that was a little bit more romantic than that. Oh, it's like, yeah, that. Oh, hi Dan, love's true. Thank you for sending love to Louisiana. I did have my meeting with my instructor last night. It went very much not like how I expected it to go. It went into ready for consultation for I went in ready for constructive criticism. I also prepared to talk about the things I felt like I goofed up on. It started with my instructor asking me how I felt it went and how I did. I told her I was so nervous and I had so much going through my head, trying to remember the things and to listen, but I thought I did okay. She then told me, well, Shannon, I have to tell you that your consultation is the best consultation I've received doing this. You see, like as soon as the consultation between me and Shan finished, and like she stopped the recording, that was like the first thing that I echoed to her as well, is that she did an amazing job, right? That I felt better. I felt consulted after going through that process with her. And now your your instructor, right, reaffirmed that truth. I'm so happy to see that for you, friend. She then told me, well, Shannon, I'm gonna read that again. She told you, Shannon. Shannon, I have to tell you that your consultation is the best consultation I've received doing this. I fought so hard not to cry. We love you, Shan. This is even more affirmation to the direction you're going in. Feel like maybe it was a sign that you're come to America, Melty. Sayna, I tried. I don't know if you don't know about this, but I went through the process. We already had tickets bought. We had tickets, like the actual tickets were bought there and back, already booked, right? Dates set in stone, as much as not really set in stone, set in computer code. Okay, I'm divulging, right? I went through the process of getting 3 different letters from 3 different friends with their utility bills stating their address, with them writing letters asking to see me, with them taking responsibility for any financial needs, right? And then signing their names, giving their actual IDs. I then also, got like a proper bank statement that had enough funds in it. It was my dad's, to be able to survive the time I decided I wanted to stay in America for. What other hoops did I jump through? I think there might be another one somewhere in there. And then I went for my interview, and it was over in like less than 2 minutes. He was like, "Where are you coming?" I'm like, "I want to see friends." And he was like, "Okay, who's gonna he's like, what do you do for work?" I'm like, "I'm self-employed." He's like, "Okay, what do you do?" And I was like, "I'm an artist." And he was like, "How much do you earn?" And I'm like, $400. And he was like, "Nah." "Nah, you're not coming to America." Oh, and I was like, "Okay." They took $160 to tell me that, right? Non-refundable. And I walked out. I was like, "Oh well, I guess this is the way it is." So I want to say no. I could have, but America doesn't see me as a wealthy enough individual. They see me as a third world citizen, which I am, right? I'm getting paid third world kind of, wages still. And you can survive in South Africa with less, which is nice. But also, because there's so many people who have less, and 60% of our youth are unemployed, people under 30. There's a lot of people that want to leave the country, and America doesn't want us, right? They believe that even if they just give you a visa to visit the country, you're not leaving, right? That's kind of like what they take as the assumption. They assume you plan on staying there and not leaving. But you have to do everything in your power to convince them that that's not the case. And I do not have assets, right? I do not have a house. I do not have a car. I do not have a family. I do not have a business that needs me in South Africa right now. So, for the time being, I am not eligible to come to America. But for the time being, right, things change, fortunately. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Doop 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 doo. Let me find my place. Mm, 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 mm. It started with my instructor asking me how I felt. Okay, thank you for that one. Thank you again, Santa, for the love. She didn't even have any criticism to give me. She told me the more I do this, the more confident I'll be in talking and just keep going, right? Isn't that what I told you as well, Shan? That was like pretty much my answer as well. I was like, Shan, you did great, right? Great. For your very first consultation. And this is your very first ever consultation, right? I've been doing these streams for 800 plus days, and I still feel like some days I have no idea what I'm doing, right? For 800 times that I've done this thing. If Shan does 800 consultations, she's gonna be a superstar. I'm a 31-year-old lady. Did I miss something? My question of the who needs the difference in sexuality or what you need to be to have the sexuality? Maybe. Or when did criticism? There we go. Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you, Jovan. This is the plan, Mel. I will adopt you as my son, and then they will have to let you in. You know, a part of me would like to believe that I'm still under 18. The fact that I'm turning 25 this year is not sitting well with me. Oh, anyway. Excuse me, what? I'm turning what? Can you adopt a 25-year-old? I will. I'll take you up on the offer, dude. I'll freaking run to you like a little boy runs to his dad. Oh, as soon as I land in America. You are welcome in Canada, and I will feed you all. Lausanne. Thank you for that. So much love to you too. Thank you so much, Mel. And Joe and Joe, Joe and Joe. All of you friends, for all of the love and encouragement that you've shared and continue to share with me through this journey. I hope you all know how amazing and special you are to me. That special, that amazing you feel. That's how we feel about you, Shan. Thank you for echoing it. I know, Melty, but trust me, it will happen when it's meant to be. Exactly. And plus, they don't know me. I'm a goddess. I make it happen, or I'm coming to pick you up then. Yes. Wow, really awesome. When's your birthday? Nobody asked my age. I just said it. Oh, okay. You were just like, just so you know, I'm a 1 year old lady. Okay. I am a 24-year-old. I want to say man, right? I do. I do. But I still don't always know that I am one, right? Like conceptually, right? Biologically, I accept my my maleness, my manness. But culturally, I feel like a man is not something I want to be, right? Does that make sense? No? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess man, there's so much hatred sent towards men, in our current, age of society that I don't almost I'm like I have to be one of the people that people talk about when they say men are pigs. Nah, I'm a man. Pigs is a different side. Because then I don't get shotgunned by all of the stereotyping. I don't want to be shotgunned by the stereotypings. Yeah. Who would have known that you saying that you're a 31-year-old man or woman, old lady, would take me down that fractal? This is the again. Love you, dude. You're amazing, of course. Nobody asked. I just said it. Wow, that's awesome. When's your birthday? I believe in May, but I don't know when in May. Yes, that makes sense, Mo. It's weird. Hello, that, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, right? I think actually that this is why Andrew Tate is gaining some level of success because he's now someone who gets to unapologetically be this man's man, right, in society. And it's like the whole whistleblowing thing, or silent whistle, dog whistle, right? Where it is like signaling a certain message, a certain frequency to certain people that they feel inside of themselves, but they aren't allowed to express, right? Like this feeling of not wanting to be a man because of society's interpretation of what that means, what that says about you, right? Causes an identity crisis in people where they feel a need to defend themselves, right? To stand up for being a man, just reinforcing the dominator culture of one-upmanship. It's weird. We live in a weird age. We live in a weird age. I'm happy to be a man. You know, I'm happy to have the equipment to stand up peeing, right? As something so stupid, something so stupid, very stupid. And yet, I don't know if it's something that defines me, right? Like, I don't take pride, I don't think, at least, in being a man, right? Being a man doesn't make me better than anyone else. It just makes me one side of the polarity of the same thing we all are, human beings. I guess it's just the whole separation thing again, right? We did talk about that in today's stream. That is the problem I believe we're trying to solve for. And identifying as a man, again, means that I'm at the same time not identifying as anything else, right? When we know, perfectly in sync with today's stream topic, we are everything. All of us are everything. But being everything is a little bit confusing. So we choose to be ourselves. I'm a Taurus. There we go. Are you a Taurus or a Gemini? Thank you. Brains melting. Susanna, I love that. Flower bending dream traveler. Sure, 24-year-old flower bending dream traveler. I like that. Sounds like a cool superhero arc. And yeah, and you know what? I don't even go into this fractal because it's gonna be too direct. Right, Loazana, Zano. That gave me such whimsical, ethereal feels. The flower bending dream traveler. I do like it. I really do. I see it. I see it kind of like almost like elfish, right? And I don't know if you feel that as well, like almost like elfish vibes, like elfish, kind of devious, kind of, kind of like lurky lurky. Many ancient cultures don't even have a male or a female role. That's how I live. Yes, everything. There we go. I'm happy. Of course, Zano, like you said something as simple as, you know, I'm a 30-year-old, 31-year-old lady. And then all of that mind space opened up. Zano is an egalitarian. Hey, Google, define egalitarian. Believing in or based on the principle that all people are equal, coming back to that fractal that we shared earlier, and deserve equal rights and opportunities. Yes, yes, equal rights. But I don't know if the equal opportunities can work. I don't know if it does. Because some of us choose to not do things that will take away certain opportunities from us, right? Because we want to. Because we want to take those things away from ourselves, right? Like there are more women working in the services side of the industry because it is, man, I'm feeling the scrutiny of political correctness breathing down in my neck. I'm like, please, political correctness, please, please, please. Yeah, right. Like I feel women can be can be natural caretakers, right? And the women that know that they can be that gravitate towards roles in society where they do that, right? And trying to force something like equal opportunities is going to take away people's freedoms, right? Instead of giving us more. I feel we all need to have the same starting place, at least when it comes to what we think should be standard, right? Place to live, food to eat, energy to use your technology, right? Because then at least all of us have the capacity to better our lives from a point of stability, right? That kind of equal opportunity, that all of us will have the opportunity to build on our dreams because we don't have to be stressing about where our food or our housing will come from, like over the next week tonight, for example. Okay, I've opened my door and I'm writing a song called Flower Bending Dream Traveler as we speak. I think it will be an instrumental. Louisiana, you flatter me. Thank you, friend. Do make music. Create something. I put pics in the Discord when I was looked very much like a boy. Yes, Louisiana, that's awesome. Love is true. What's Tiger? Where's Tiger? Our beloved Maxine? I don't know. She would have been perfect for today's conversation, talking about the spirit animals as well. I feel that Joe said it right about the card green with orange stripes. Let's see. There was a triangle with birds up top as well, part of the fractal that he shared. Let me see. I'll wait for one of you friends to say stop. Am I gonna run through cards before I see a stop? I did, but I can start over. Well, technically, I was touching this card by the time you said stop. Hmm, green with orange stripes. I mean, there's green here, right? And there's very much orange stripes. I just didn't think the stripes would be arms. The Octomotion, card number 55. Hey, brother Joel. It still feels right. This is the one. Octomotion. This card is a card of flow. I believe this is the very card, the very first card that I pulled for Jovan. Card number 55. Octomotion. Flow and flexibility. Yep. I mean, stop. Do the Octomotion with me. All of us start Squidward dancing. Octopuses are known for their ability to swim with fluidity and to conceal themselves as they crawl across the reef. If you are fortunate enough to see one, it is likely they are doing the dance of octomotion, demonstrating graceful, flexible movement. They can pull their arms into tightly coiled spirals, attaching to yesterday's message, or stretch them beyond what seems possible. Their mantle can take up a spiky appearance of seaweed or the bumpy texture of coral. The octopus is the eight-legged master of motion and flexibility. Octagonal star geometry inlaid into this card enhances the power of eight and speaks of resonance and periodic renewal. This card asks you to examine how ideas and events are moving towards the subject of your inquiry. Everything so that we can have infinity. Yo! Skapow! You are you. Yeah, you know what? You are in resonance with flow. Are you engaging the situation with optimism, suppleness, and flexibility? I am. I actually am. Right? Because I realize that I can really mess myself up mentally. right? Tripping out about suffering of other people, of myself, of my family, of my friends. Yes, I can trip myself up, right? Trying to think about what I'm supposed to do right now in this moment to try and fix it. And this question, are you engaging the situation with optimism, hope that it will get better, suppleness, a softness with yourself, and flexibility, right? A willingness to see yourself, changing. If so, this card applauds the sincerity of your intentions. Or do you feel the need to camouflage your ideas, emotions by adapting yourself to what you believe is expected of you? There are many ways to move through a situation. The path of least resistance and flow is generally the easiest. Remember, however, not to consent to rigidity in this situation or permit it to obscure your light. The worth of your voice will be made apparent as you recognize and honor your dedication to integrity and expressing your personal truth. Renew your intent to be flexible in body, mind, and spirit while respecting the truth at your core. Didn't we touch on all of those points? Right? Cable came into the stream and encouraged us to move our bodies, right? So that we can have that flow, the core meaning, so that we can have that flexibility in body, mind, and spirit. And then we echoed again the whole Meltmore understanding of melting all of the layers of considered self away and finding yourself back to your ultimate core, your pure awareness of being, right? That a pure awareness of being cannot be taken from you, and that it is your truth, your core. Renew your intent to be flexible in body, mind, and spirit while respecting the truth at your core. Love. Skapow! Pew, 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 skapow, skapow. Pull that 11:55, of course. Oh my gosh, octopuses. Come on, baby, to the octomotion. Well, that was close, but not what I was specifically seeing. It's not exactly, it's not as exact as our vision. Close counts, I suppose. And tell you guys what I'm hearing. Well, Brother Joe, keep practicing, right? Don't let it go. And the joke for me, I don't know if it's a joke as much as it's just like something that I trip myself out with, melt my own brain with, is the fact that there is a reality, right? Where we were doing exactly this, where what you said is exactly what happened, right? And clearly for this reality, we needed to pull the Octomotion card instead, right? To have this moment we're having right now. And if we didn't have this moment, then this moment we had would be void from an infinite universe, which it couldn't be. So realize you are still in synchronicity. Skip out! Skip out! Let us remember it's just a game of educated guesses and pragmatic inferences. None of us know, but most of us feel the truth whether or not we recognize it. Everything within infinity. Everything. Like actually everything. Even that sunset within infinity, right? Even that. Let us remember, I don't like my job anymore. I loved it when I was living in Ohio, but since moving back, I feel like I'm suffocating. And I'm not sure if my boss is supportive. Maybe I need to step back and find myself and what makes me happy. If that is what you feel you need, Saina, then I would encourage you to listen to your heart. But I want you to also consider the power of your words, right? Like, instead of thinking of your work right now as something that is hard or something that is challenging, think of it as something that is doable, right? Like, you can still do it, right? And as you're trying to establish for yourself what it is you want to be doing instead, Allow yourself this doing, realizing that you are growing the skill of doing, right? That power of actually showing up and making a difference in the world. So you're not losing anything, Sena, by experiencing something that is less than ideal right now. But once we establish what it is we would like to do instead, we can start setting in motion a plan, to actually make it happen. But one needs to come before the other, right? I do believe that. Like plans need to come before action. Like you can sometimes just throw yourself into the deep end and ask yourself to come to a conclusion because you need to. But that can also cause unwanted stress and traumas around trying to start something for yourself, potentially causing you to fear attempting to do it ever again, right? I've noticed this in some friends where they'll try something hard and then it won't succeed the way they thought it would. And then they become convinced that it's impossible to succeed in doing something for themselves, right? So do both. Do both, friend. Find what makes you happy while working, right? Because unfortunately, not having a job isn't going to help you in finding what it is you're looking for necessarily, right? At least I don't think so. Great POV, so true. You're loved, Sena. You're so loved, friend. And for me, the first priority is just to make sure that you get to experience this world lovingly, right? And I know that you've been talking about your plans to leave your job, but I would also like to see you talk about manifesting, right? What it is you would like to do instead. You've mentioned that you would like to, have like a little place. Ek is besig om te vas is, so. Ek is jammer. Ek sal daarvan drink later, maar nie nou nie. Ek is regtig okay. Ek wil daarvan drink, regtig. Soos ek het gesien hier dit op die tafel gehad en dit het my lekker gelyk.
Die pineapple is.
Die pineapple is.
Dit gepop se champagne.
Ek het gehoor.
Bubbles uit.
Soos ek wil regtig, maar ek het nou vandag besluit ek gaan weer vas. So ek sal my vas breek daarmee. Maar dit gaan eers oor 'n rukkie wees.
Toen trend gelyk soos tuisgemaakte bier.
Since I'm not. Yo. It's my yo. The people can't see my face right now. Want ek wys vir hulle die sonsak. But that's a lot. Yeah. This is bad, nie? Maar
Dis baie suur. Ja, dis baie bitend.
yeah, my sister is bringing me some kombucha, but I'm not taking in any
Jammer.
calories right now.
Dis vis meer as Coke.
Ek is bly ek het geproe daarvan though. I'm happy I tasted some. Flower bending, time folding, dream traveler. Oh, that's guy, right? Beautiful sunset. We love you all so much, friends. Right? You can do anything. Anything. You can do anything. And if you feel out of the anything that you can do, quitting your job right now and trying to find what makes you happy is what you need to do, then I'm not here to tell you not to. But I am here to encourage you to find what it is you love doing and then to manifest. I started talking actually about that, Sena, that you've told me that you would like to have a little space, to plant your own food, maybe even teach other people how to do the same, right? So that dream, I hope, is still alive. And, what is your time frame for actually getting something like that? My time frame for some of the things that I want to build in the short term is 11 years, right? We're 2 years in, so I have like 9 years left to realize the things that I want to realize in the short term. And I feel like it might be intimidating to embrace such a time frame, to have to do something for 11 years before you see the results you want to see. But also, within everything, 11 years is an instance, right? Like that. We've already done 2 years, right? 806 days. And yet, it's still today. And it's going to be today forever. So, realize you're a part of it. Embrace that part of it. Embrace the fact that no matter what part of it you're experiencing, without you experiencing it, there would be that experience you-sized hole in the universe. Right? Take a deep pride in knowing you are contributing in a way that nothing else in the universe can contribute. You are the magnum opus of rarity. Your experience is the creme de la creme of this universe. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. Skapow! Realizing meeting. I was thinking, Joy, you play Magic the Gathering? Oh, she went to a meeting, got a 4 a.m. MTG. Love you guys. Love you, Joy. We'll see you again soon. Joy V plays Pokemon, just a guess. I love all of you friends. Thank you for joining me. This was a fun stream. There we go. Shan with her beautiful message to all of us. Super huge, dearly melt and all of you wonderfully wonderful and incredible friends. Blessings. Bless, bless. Bless my friends. Bless, bless, bless them. Bless them more. Bless, bless, bless. And I'll see you again soon. Cheers.